Maybe Hannibal Lecter had it figured out.
What?
No, I'm just saying, hold on. Welcome back to Dynamic Entry. It's me, the professional henchman, and I'm here to talk to you about a show I just saw recently that I really enjoyed. It's called Delicious in Dungeon on Netflix. I believe it's called Dungeon Meshi in the original. It's got a manga. We're not here to talk about that shit. All right, today I'm gonna pull a page out of Nate's book. I'm gonna completely avoid any other spoilers. I saw the first episode and I really enjoyed what I saw, and I'd like to talk to you about it. Let's go over it. This will be a spoiler-free-ish review, or as spoiler-free as I can be, just because I don't want to ruin anybody's time going in. I knew from the opening moments of this show that I'd like it. Hot in the middle of battle with the Red Dragon, our main character, Leos, thinks to himself, I'd be fighting much harder if I wasn't so damn hungry. It does eventually lead to them losing the battle, and a few party members to boot. But they eventually fill their numbers, and our main cast moves back into the dungeons to try and save one of those party members aforementioned. So, what's the show about, right? Is it about dungeon crawling and fighting monsters? A little bit. Is it about people, interpersonal stories, and family? I don't know. So far, all they've really shown is cooking. And that's like secretly my favorite part of this anime. And I don't mean anything in the sense of like food wars. It's probably a little closer to something like What's Emiya Cooking at his house this week, which is the like Fate universe cooking show, if you've ever seen that one. It's really weird in the context of that universe, but not important. What's important is the actual show itself and how they present the cooking. I like things like this because it gives me a similar vibe to Pokemon and the Detective Pikachu movies, how they explain Rhyme City and all of the free world building you get from that. Instead of the Pokemon being confined themselves to just a catch and battle type of thing, they have an organic purpose inside of the world where they're, you know, working alongside us, providing services, cooking, cleaning, doing all kinds of stuff. The cooking is really what we're focusing on here. In similar fashion, Delicious in Dungeon goes into referencing how the monster parts themselves, the things that they're fighting and questing and adventuring to kill in these big, massive RPG-style dungeons, how you could cook them. It's kind of similar in that way too to Monster Hunter, but instead of you just making weapons and armor, you get something kind of sustainable, something a little more realistic in that sense. As far as the actual scenes with the cooking themselves, great. Really nicely, delicately animated, and the characters themselves go through a lot of painstaking detail explaining why they're preparing something a certain way or how they're cooking or seasoning something. The main cast does fumble with it a little bit, but then they get that wise sage character that comes in as their fourth towards the halfway point of the first episode and really shows you more of what that cooking can be. In between the cooking scenes themselves, they do have actual adventuring where they're going out and fighting monsters and getting parts, as one does in these dungeon situations. And I gotta say, with the combat not being the main focus of the show, it seems exciting. The stuff that they've shown so far is pretty nice, and they seem to have put a lot of thought into like the magic system and how things work without them actually having to explain all of it. You can tell by the way characters carry themselves and do certain things and actions. That's kind of the whole thing about the show that I like in itself, is that there's a lot of doing and showing more than there is saying. A lot of anime, when they open up in the first episode, there's so much exposition and nothing happening. We're sitting around, and then you see like 5 minutes of somebody being super hardcore and overpowered. In this one, totally not the same. Our characters are downtrodden, they're on horrible times at the moment, they've lost friends, could be dying right now if they don't get further into their quest. And there's a little bit of realism in that, then I enjoy myself. So, if anything, I don't know. I think it's worth a watch. I've only seen the first episode for now, and like I said, I'm not going to spoil anything for myself and see what else there is without actually having seen it in the show on Netflix. Overall, I think it's a promising start for 2024, and it's got me excited to see further titles down the road and what else we have in store. Though, to be honest with you, I was really only looking forward to Solo Leveling, which I have not watched yet. Nate, have you watched that yet?
No, not yet.
So now I have plans, and I'm gonna go ahead and go take care of that. But I will leave you with this. Delicious in Dungeon's worth your time. You should definitely check it out. Or, you know, maybe check out some of the other videos that we have here on the channel. We have a ton, you know. We've got draft videos, we've got review videos, unboxings, we've got pack openings, all kinds of shit. You just gotta check the links. Also our socials too. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us here on YouTube. And do we have anything else? Oh, and TikTok. Yeah. Everything's below. You can find all that shit down below. And subscribe, you know, like the video, share, copy the link, send it to somebody. There's all kinds of neat, nifty things you can do to show your love and know that we love it and appreciate it too. Peace.